Hi and welcome to episode 7, I think, of Every Semicolon. Every Semicolon. When I listen to these videos back, it sounds like I'm saying something other than what I want to say there. Anyway, enunciation aside, I am going to make a fairly short video this time. I've got some artwork from Shane, which I'll throw in, a Ballista, an early version of the Ballista. So I'll put that in and show you, maybe to set that up a little bit and talk a little bit about my plans for that. And I also want to do some shortcuts and things like that, just to make working on things. I was thinking about, stuff like building little prototype things of these. Sorry, making that a little bit easier for myself. So I've come up with few shortcuts. You can see here. I want to create a new game object as a child of selected objects. So that's what I commonly do when I'm making prefabs. For example, if I select the prefab parent, I want to hit a shortcut key to generate a game object underneath, which has 0 position and rotation. Delete all children of selected object. So that'll be useful for, say, deleting all the children of a fortress. If I click on fortress and hit this Shift Alt Delete, it's not plan, delete all the children. Duplicate object to above itself. So that was my idea for click on something like this, hit a combination, it creates a duplicate of this and puts it above itself. That's probably, I'm probably going to do a whole bunch of those. I think, might as well just do everything, above, below, all the axes. So I have to figure that out. I've got here Shift Alt W. I think I'll change it to Shift Alt E, which is the sort of up, down, sort of the Y, forward and back. W and S will be the Z, and then D and A will be the X axis. So I'll probably do that, and I'll probably do variations as well, so you don't have to duplicate. You can just shift things around. So without further ado, let's get into it. So artwork, FBX, rock platform. Okay, make a new one called Ballista, and got FBX there, and some textures. Okay, so for the scale. Also, might as well do that while I'm here too. Shane's updated the rock platform so that it's scale at where is it? So if I do that, that'll update my FBX. Okay. See, now he's very tiny. So find him, scale it to 1. Apply that. Okay. So now at 1 scale in the scale factor settings here, it is 1 by 1 meter sort of diameter. 1 meter, 1 meter, and that's cool. I might, going there every time with one of these assets and changing the scale factor is kind of lame, so I might at some point write a post-import process to do that for me. But if you're getting assets from different sorts of software like Maya, the scale factor sometimes needs to be 0.01, to keep it consistent. So getting your pipeline working is the most important thing, I suppose, and from there just try to make it as easy as you can for yourself. So anyway, Ballista. Let's make a Ballista. So I'm going to jump in here, go to my weapons, I'm going to duplicate that, call it Ballista. I'm going to throw it down. Just threw that down. Bam. I'm not going to bother with the mechanics of the Ballista this episode. I'm just going to get the visuals in there. So graphics at a cube. Let's replace the cube with our Ballista. Okay. Looks very ballistery. So Shane reckons this is a early version. He's going to look at putting some more interesting features on it to try and make it dwarven and have some style. Chuck the wood on the wood and the steel on the steel. So he's got spec maps for those. So I'll use my spec map shader. Whoops. Okay. So there we go, there's our Ballista. So you can see here he's got a whole bunch of little sub-objects. So the bolt anchor, I'll show that first. That's fairly straightforward, but what I need here is my not really worried about that. Okay, so bolts aren't probably ever going to have animation, so I'm going to turn off animation import for that. Right. What I want to do is I'm also going to add, not this episode probably because it'll take a little bit too long, the custom inspector so I can copy and paste positions and rotations. Okay, so the bolt anchor sort of gives me a sort of reference position to place the bolt at so that it will fit inside the Ballista properly. So he's also given me these anchor points here, which will ultimately be for the rope. So if I go to, say, top rope A, anchor 1, here's a point here, and then top rope A, anchor 2, a point here. So there's going to be sort of ropes connecting this bending section to this slidey bit. I don't really know my Ballista terminology very well. I'll probably pick that up as we go along. So basically, this bending part will animate. When it fires, it'll straighten out, pulling this up with it and shooting the bolt. And that will probably then mean that the ropes connecting the two will need to stretch or contract accordingly. So what I'm going to do is have a separate rope asset which I in code connect between these 2 points and have it always sort of conform to the distance between those two. Alright, so that's our Ballista. I'm trying to look at it a fair bit in the hopes that the YouTube shot will show it, rather than, because I'm looking at the YouTube videos and they're all green platform, green platform, green platform, green platform with grass, green platform. So hoping to get something a little bit different in there, a bit more colour variation. But anyway, there's our Ballista. I'm going to apply that to the prefab. Reset position, apply, and okay, that's pretty much all we can hope for at this point. In terms of YouTube video thumbnailing, come on, come on, come on. Yeah, that's right there. That was the frame. That's the frame it captured. Okay, so get rid of that. That's cool. That's on its way, and maybe next episode we'll start putting the Ballista mechanics in there. It doesn't have any animations yet. Doesn't have the ability to do the sort of tilting it'll need to do. But let's get into the next part. Let's make this a fairly quick video. Let's go to our Unity utils. might make a new script actually, rather than just append to the new one all the time. Oh my god. Something about this project, I need to just like wipe it and hope it just fixes itself when I'm done. Okay. Static public void duplicate above self. Okay. Now, alright. I'm also going to need, before I get into that, okay, wait, let me set this all up. We'll finish writing this declaration here. Okay. Right. So my plan for this is you hit a shortcut key or you select this from the menu, and it duplicates the object and places it directly above itself, flush with the top of itself, so the bottom of the new one and the top of the old one are touching. So to do that, I'm going to need to get the bounds of the previous object, because it could have multiple things underneath it, big hierarchy, millions of objects with their own renderers and all that sort of thing. So I want to get all that, encapsulate that into one bounds, and use that complete bounds to determine the overall size of the object and how far to shift things. So let's come over here for a bit, away from our clouds, and build a cube. Alright, so the cube is going to be our little test man. Alright, so let's go back into here and let's go to the scripting reference. Alright, menu item. So menu item is what we're going to use to chuck this method in the Unity top menu. So let's just copy that and drop it in here. So I'm going to call this utils game object / duplicate above self, and we want to give it a shortcut. So shortcuts, can use Control-Alt-Shift modifier keys and a letter, probably maybe numbers, I'm not really sure the extent of the shortcuts, but at least letters. So what's the underscore? No mod. Okay. Yep. We want Shift and Alt, so hash and ampersand, and then E. Right. And menu items not getting highlighting, so we must need Unity Editor. Alright. So duplicate above self, we're going to get the bounds of the selection dot active game object. Now how do we know we have an active game object? We could do a null check, but I think we just saw validate log. Okay, so you can create another method that returns a bool to validate whether or not this item can be used. So validate seems like, so validate menu item defined by the function above. So I think that's the ticket there. Alright, let's just duplicate this put in true and call it validate, make it return a bool, and we can probably use exactly what they have here. We'll just change it to active game object. So if the active game object is not null, it will return true, otherwise it will return false. That's cool. Right, so we have our new complete bounds. We want to get, let's make a new object. Cast the instantiate selection dot active game object. Okay, so we want to position it at the complete bounds center plus the complete bounds extents.y. Extent is half the size. What's that going to do? It's going to, no, we don't want to do half the size. We want to do the complete size. So centers this is fine. So the center point plus the complete size y is not. It's not a vector 3, can't add that. Vector 3 dot up times that. Okay. So that's going to then shift it up by the complete size. That's what we want. And we want to use the original ones. Rotation. Alright, so we have a new object. And let's select the new object. Cool. And well, this is an error from the previous episode. How'd that get in there? Did I must have came in here and stuffed something up? When did I do that, I wonder? Set active recursively, damage states I is equal. So I wonder if that's supposed to be something else. I haven't touched this since the last video. As far as I know, it was compiling the last video. I don't want to dismiss this. Let's just figure out what it's meant to do. So we set the damage state. Damage state's at length. Block graphics. Okay. Damage states I dot block graphics. Okay, run through it all. Okay, so yeah, okay, that is my code. Game object not containing definition for set active recursively. Ah, shoot. Okay, yeah. Made the mistake of naming it game object and not putting it in a namespace. Silly. Then I wanted to handle this then. Do I want to use namespaces? In this case I'm using a class called uu.debug. Yeah, let's use a namespace. I'm not sure how many things I'm using. Debugging. Possibly could use a find and replace, but surely there can't be that many. Alright, cool. So, public class game object. That'd probably get complete bounds. Can't just call that. Yeah, invalid argument. Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't call it game object. Let's call it this is called objects. That's never a thing. When is that a thing? Never. See? I just told you it's never a thing. Control ML. No, just not happening. Okay, where are we at? Instantiate. Instantiate. Right. And game object dot instantiate. Oh, and it continues. Of course not. Resize array is not a debugging method. So duplicate objects and call it put it in general for now until I can think of a better place. Okay. Alright. Happy days. Let's see first. So utils game object. Okay, so that's not selectable because of my validate method. Utils game object. Boom. Where'd that end up? That is not where we want it. Ah, right. I just I thought I'd like written my complete bounce method. I thought that was just gonna work. Okay. Okay. Right. So get complete bounds. We need that to do its thing. So let's go. We're going to render array. All renderers equals gob.get components children type renderer. If all renderers equal to null, or all renderers dot length is equal to 0, turn complete bounds. Do I need to do that? Yes, I do, because I want to set my complete bounds to be the first renderer's bounds, and I'm just going to loop through the remaining renderers. And okay, I've done this before a few times, this method in a number of projects. So I know for a fact that I do not want to include particle renderers. Probably only, yeah, but only if there's an emitter do I really care. Yeah, let's just check if there's a particle emitter on the object. I don't want to include it. Particle renderers could potentially be used for other stuff, I guess, if you had some crazy code, which I don't, but Still, you never know. Yep. Okay, so if it doesn't have a particle emitter, then encapsulates that render as bounds, returns it all. Okay, how does that look? Let's use our shortcut. Shift Alt E. Execute menu item target for layouts does not exist. Hey? What? Hey, that works. Oh, that works too. Maybe it hadn't compiled properly yet. Look at that. That's clone, 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 clone. Don't like that. Keep the page down. New object.name is equal to complete. Oh, selection.active game object.name. That's the stuff. Cool. Alright, let's make a variation of that which only moves it. So I'm going to do a find and replace. And instead of instantiating, I pretty much just want to move it. Don't want to rename it. Don't want to change the active game object. That's it. And I want to change that to just Shift E. That just does not seem to be happening. Hey. For some reason, yeah, it seemed like those shortcuts worked properly the first time, but that's cool. It's totally working. Now I could, in theory, manually duplicate and then shift it. Sort of defeats the purpose of my other one though. Okay, I'm going to do the other variations. This could take a few minutes, so might just eat this chocolate chip cookie and just start doing that. More spaces in my method names. Man, it's so much easier coding without talking. I've dug my own grave. Alrighty then. How'd that end up? Wow, that looks really something. Oh no, I missed something. Okay. Q's, W's. Alright. Give it time to do its thing. W, 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 W. Oh gosh. Okay. Man, really just does not like working. Okay. Right, left, back, forward, up, down. Look at that. It's like I can play a game in the editor. Alt W. No, Alt D. Alt S. Alt E. Alt A. Alt A. Alt Q. Ah, that's wicked. Ooh. Fatal flaw in my plan. I just realised. I'm just trying to hold down shift and move around quickly in the scene view with my holding down right click and using WSD to move. Unfortunately, no longer a thing. I wonder if there's any way around it, or if I just need to change the keys I'm using. Okay, I was hoping there'd be something like the opposite of event.current.use or something, and I could maybe get around it. Okay, so this is the solution to use. Whoa, no, whatever I just did is really, really bad. Held down control and started hitting buttons, and things just went really wrong really fast. Okay. I now seem to be unable to hold down the mouse button and look around. I think it's actually just gone into, yeah, it's gone into this thing. I don't know if you've ever seen this before, but it's stuck in this view mode. This is an old bug. I'm surprised it's still in 3.5, to be honest. There is a solution. This is called playing it and stopping it. Okay, now my camera is rolled in the scene view. Wow. Alright, new solution is wow, what is going on? New scene, save that. Main camera, how we doing? Ah, I don't need to do new scene, I could just fix that. Perspective. Okay. Okay, that's really annoying. Control's not the button. Alt. Shift. Yeah, maybe I'll just swap around. Instead of just holding down Shift to do it, I'll use Alt. Yeah. Okay. So let's just try that first with W, just to see how it feels. Ampersand. Okay, so I can finally move forward again. Yeah, okay, I think that'll be okay. And then say ampersand W. Yeah, that's not too bad. That's fine. Let's do that instead. That will work. I wonder how many people are watching. Okay, let's be honest. Is there anyone watching? There's no one watching. If someone is watching, I wonder how many of that one person would have picked up on this being a bad idea when I started doing these shortcuts. Yelling at this screen, abusing me to my voice. So, alright, that's cool. I can now do things again. Click on that. I think all the camera controls I would typically use and any sane person would use are still in play. But now I have the coolness of that. Yeah. Alright. That works surprisingly well. The remaining things, I guess, I could do rotation. I'm not really going to bother with that for now. So let's just have a quick look at my little list and see if we can knock up something else quickly. These ones probably be a little bit easier, so let's do them. Create new game object as child of selected objects. Shift Alt N. Too easy. Let's do it up here. Grab one of these. Grab two of these. Create child object. Create child object. Alright. Pretty basic. Don't need any of that. I'm gonna make a new game object. Whoop. Let's go for each game object selected game object in selection dot game objects. Just double check. I mean, I can't imagine it wouldn't be, but just make sure that that is only returning game objects in the scene. Includes prefabs, non-modifiable objects. Aha! It is not. Selection.transforms. Alright, so it likes selection.transforms. In fact, yeah, full. Save it by the documentation. Let's just use selection.active transform for all this other stuff too. Get complete bounds. Okay. Let's just use some creative find and replace. Okay. Selection dot active game object dot transform. Let's replace that with selection dot active transform. And let's replace that with transform.game object. So there it is, game object with an uppercase A. Yes. Yes, it is. Okay. Okay. Right. So for each, what am I doing? Creating a child object. Let's go. Selected. Transform in selection.transforms. Whoop. Create a new sucker. Can you dig it? Select the last one. Should I select all of them? No, select the last one. New game object with the name of new game object, so I know what I'm looking for. Transform dot parent equals selected transform. Cool. Wow. Selection dot active transform dot game object equals new object. Fair enough. Oh, that's again the power of find and replace. Wow, suck at find and replace. Alright. So where's an object? This one. Utils, game object, create child object. Boom. Ah, I've got the one very important thing I wanted. Wanted to have a zeroed out local position. And scale should not ever not be, but let's explicitly do it anyway. Local rotation to a good mate, Quaternion dot identity. Shortcut for that is Shift Alt N. Shift Alt N. Oh my god. Shift Alt N. There we go. Works. Fully sick. Okay, last but not least was the delete old children or selected object. Right, well, let's also test multiple selected things and create a new game object under each of them. Cool. You know what? I think I made a mistake. I think this should be I think it should be selecting all the new ones. So selection dot, we easily just add something. Do we use it like that here? Nope, 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 nope. Game objects, blah blah blah. Whatever, I'll just do it. Transform array. New transforms. New transform array at the size of this sucker. And now new transforms. New transforms. Okay, let's replace that with a good old-fashioned for loop. And new transforms are I equals new ob dot transform. Let's use that cache one there. And these. I. Selection dot transforms equals new transforms. Okay, let's test that out. Wow. Whoops. Missing an S. Oh, it's read only. How do we make it happen? Objects. Yeah. Shift Alt N. Alright, Shift Alt N. Okay, what are we getting here? Two transforms. Ah, okay. Now two transforms are selected, are they not? They are. Doesn't really seem to want us to let's do that. 1.17. 1.7. Ah, okay, so that did work. Awesome. Okay, let's make a new one. Delete child objects. So this will be the last one we do today. Oh, how do we do delete? Edit. Del. I believe it. Alright. So I'm going to do a similar sort of thing here, except instead of doing all that, I'm going to go through each of the transforms and find the children. And it's possible I'll select the child of something and delete the parent before I reach the child, so I'm going to do a null check as well. I'm just going to check if I believe get components in children will return the transform within itself, so check that if it's that one, then I just want to skip it. Otherwise destroy immediate. Okay, and that should do it. Alright, need to rename that to delete child objects and chuck that there. Okay. Let's see how that works. Doesn't. I Alright, let's select multiple. Shift Alt delete. Shift Alt delete doesn't want to work. Is that what it says here? Shift Alt DLEL uppercase. I don't think that's what it says over here. Shift Del. Wonder if I can score that fancy shortcut too. I don't really like this selection of objects, new transforms. Why does it act that way? If I select multiple transforms normally, move them around. Yep. Transforms, read only. Yeah. I don't know. Doesn't seem like there's anything else I can do. I might just for now put it back to how I had it, where it just selects the last one, because I think most of the time I'm going to be creating one child, one child, and that just seems like a better result to actually have it selected as a transform sort of thing instead of the weird other thing it was doing before. There, don't know. Okay. Maybe if I made it game objects, it would have worked. Let's just try that. Just for peace of mind. Transform. Okay, this sucker. New game objects. New transform. Burp. Okay, is that any better? Errors. Oh no. Okay, so far so good. Yes, that works a treat. Alright, there's the solution. Alright, so back to our delete. What was going wrong? I couldn't get delete shortcut working. I don't know if it's possible. If people watch this, someone could let me know in the comments. But for now, yeah, look at that, Shift Del. It's just not fair. It's just cheating, to be honest. I feel like that's just cheating. If I type it like they've got it, it'll recognize. No. No. Alright, give up for now. I'll just leave that as only accessible through this window, but totally works. And if I select children as well, beautiful. Alright, that'll do it for this episode. Try to give myself one last chance of success with this. Okay. Come on, YouTube gods. Yeah. Look at that. It's like a hero shot for a Ballista. Wow. Alright. Thanks for watching. Yeah, I think that was probably not the most exciting episode either, but if you have any interest in writing menu items, I think that's probably pretty cool. I think these are really useful. Let's check this out. If I remember my shortcut keys. Wow, that totally didn't work. Oh no. active transform to game object is not equal null. Ooh, that's stupid, isn't it? That's really dumb. Okay. Let's find that and replace it with that. Okay. There we go. How could that have shifted? Sharpen machine. Center point, not pivot point. Possibly want to do it from the pivot instead. Maybe not. Let's just try it on this. Okay, what's the issue here? Pivot. Yeah, I do want to take the pivot into account. That really sucks because I've just written a stupid number of things without fully testing it. Okay, let's just quickly see if we can solve this issue. So, okay, we're moving it directly up. Probably only care about the so not y minus. Oops. Alright, so let's think about this for a sec. What do I want? The center point. In this case, I don't really care about the center point. Do I ever care about the center point? Let's just see. Just for a moment, let's take it back down to this and see what we're dealing with. And that seems fine, and then you go to this one and yeah, that seems cool. And I guess yeah, that all seems fine as well. What if we did that, and then yeah, that's cool. Alright, so that works out pretty well. one last thing before I go. So I want to sort of wrap these things up before I'm done with them. What was our prefab check? Some sort of prefab check we had. You'll remember that in the editor window for the level helper. No, the block. This thing. So we go to our objects. Let's at least get it working for this thing, how I want it. Okay, if is equal to prefab, yep. Okay, that, else, that, this, that, bam, bam, bam. Okay, okay. It's a prefab. We want to use editor prefab utility dot instantiate prefab map dot transform dot position equals that. Equals that. Then when I do the Ballista, that's not the button I wanted. The Ballista. No, don't have to say it like that. Select a transform after game object equals prefab type dot prefab instantiate prefab. That is duplicate above self. Tools game object duplicate above self. It's not making it a prefab. Let's quickly log that. Prefab and not prefab. Not prefab. It's so not true. Get prefab type. Given an object returns is prefab type. None of it's not a prefab. Prefab type. Prefab instance. Doesn't want me to cast the object, in which case I cast from source type to destination type. Instantiate prefab takes an object, returns an object. Very odd. Why is it being such a bastard? Object reference not set to an instance of an object, null reference exception. New transform dot position, transform dot position, blah blah. Let's yeah. It's getting late, getting tired. Let's leave this for the start of the next video. I'll get back to it. Okay. Thanks again for watching. Yeah, I'll sort that out at the start of the next video. It'll bit of pain leaving it there, but I sort of need to stop this one now. So episode 8, I guess, finish that off, and we'll get into maybe doing the ballista mechanics, having it tilt up and down and shoot sort of straight, shoot those bolts, and maybe we'll look into having some sort of reload time and things like that. Yeah, thanks for watching, and leave some comments and stay tuned for the next video. Alright, pretty much immediately after stopping that last video I realised what was going wrong, so just gone and sorted out some things and given myself some more time. So let's just check. I believe I need to pass in the actual prefab object, not the prefab instance, into instantiate prefab. So I'm just going to probably append this to the previous video. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Actually, they should validate stuff there too. Right, so need to jump in here. This is there. So just pretty much, hopefully, in this video, just going to be cleaning things up. Just at the end here of episode 7, and just give episode 8 a bit of a fresh start. I don't really want to carry these things over from video to video. Sometimes, life stuff gets in the way, so I had to stop that one short. But I've just going to stay up a little bit longer tonight and get this one finished up. Okay, so if it's a prefab instance, we should be able to use prefab utility to get the prefab object. Find prefab root, get prefab object, get prefab type, prefab object. That's the one. Boom. Jump in here. Hello. Shift E. Nope. Try again. Shift E. Nope. What's the problem here? No reference exception for some. Actually, did I already... Maybe this was the problem last time, wasn't it? It wasn't. I think I'm losing my mind. Anyway, not a big deal. See that again. So, instantiate prefab. Instantiates a prefab. Okay, so complete bounds. Selected active transform. Is there a chance that the selection has been lost? Let's try that theory out first. Copy transform. This must have spilled something. Copy transform this sucker. Boom. Copy him there. Let's see if where it lives now. We'll do the next line too, just in case we were right, so it's all sorted. I like to use the oops, that's not even a thing. I like to use we, just so you're all on the same page and you're all with me, whether you want to be or not. Is there a chance... Oh, here we go. Invalid cast, not cast from source type to destination type. Alright, so it doesn't like doing that. Apparently it doesn't mind doing this. Wow, if I could type, that would be the best. Alright, so yeah, it says cast it, but it's saying it doesn't exist yet. That's really lame. That's really lame. Does it not create it till the next frame? What's the go? No, surely it does. Surely it does. Var clone. So they do it as game object right there. This is all JavaScript. And then surely they could mess with clone if they want. So selection.active object as game object. Yeah, get prefab object. I mean, what are the... Actually, this might... I guess it's possibly trying to do something weird. No. Man, what is going on? This is really frustrating. I so shouldn't have come back to the computer. I'm gonna be here forever. And you're gonna watch me. No, there we go. There we go. So it's saying get prefab type, it's a prefab instance. Get prefab object is not doing the job, ain't doing our dirty work. What we want is retrieves the prefab object representation. I'm not even sure what the hell that means. Place prefab. Let me utility. Like, what is the okay. That's null. That'll be null too. Space measure, more like go away measure. Hilarious. Right, so that's null. Let's just start seeing what the problem is. Process of elimination. Like okay, surely get prefab object is the one I want. Ballista Unity engine dot prefab. No name. Is there a chance I've stuffed up this instance? No, looks like it's all good. Okay. Returns root game object of the prefab instance if that root prefab instance is a parent of the prefab. Root game object of the prefab instance if that root is parent of the prefab. Find root game object with same parent prefab. Okay, I don't really know what the difference is between those, but okay. It's returning. So weird. So weird. Pain. I'm gonna test out another one. Catapult. Custom utils, blah. Nothing. Just nothing. Oh, this is frustrating. Get prefab object. Let's just try something else, because obviously that just ain't working. We're doing something wrong. We're doing something stupid. We are doing something stupid. You and me. Together. I'm totally gonna try. I think it's just going to return the object in the scene, but I mean, why wouldn't it? I wouldn't allow that too. That's just stupid. Just see what it does. See how cranky it gets. Okay, I'm over this. That was. I mean, I figured that should have worked. And anyway, it does. Problem solved. Right? Right. All good. I can now create a whole bunch of ballistas above itself, which are all still connected to the prefab, so that's great. There was one other thing I wanted to do. I just can't remember what it was. So these should all... that's what it was. Looking at here, I can definitely see my problem. Those are not parented to what they should be parented to. So I'm creating a new thing, but I'm not parenting it to parent of copy transform. Okay, so wood, boom, boom, boom. That's perfect. Alright, now comes the painful process of duplicating this all down the line. Yeah, I really don't have a quick way of doing this. I need to change this too, don't I? So I'm just going to do, what did I decide? I decided something. Plus equals that, I guess. Let's do what we can. Okay, so we have position equals complete bounds dot center space shon plus equals space replace. Alright, that's a little bit helpful, but it's not entirely there. I should keep the negatives. I totally could have done that better and replaced it with what I needed to replace it with. Anyway, plus equals negative still works for me. Okay, let's see this part. Minus, minus. And that one. Okay, right. Minus x right plus minus forward Z forward. That's it, potentially. Let's go. Alt, sorry, that's not the button. Alt W S A D S W D Q E E Q S Shift W bugger. Shift E, Shift A. Bugger. Apologies if I don't want to say anything offensive. I don't know necessarily what is and isn't offensive throughout the world, so just excuse me if I say anything stupid. Alright, so I did that one. So Q would have worked. Didn't do that one. This one. Alright. Alt Shift W E S A. What have I tried yet? Q S D. Alright, that all works. Sweet. That's pretty cool actually. I really like that. So I can now make a little fortress pretty easily out of a whole bunch of this stuff. Probably not the best idea to just go nuts like this, but hey, never said I had good ideas. It's actually pretty easy to use. I mean that was really cool. That took very little time to do. I guess the next step, which I'm not going to do, don't worry about that, is if I had multiple things selected, hey, I want to duplicate all of that over. And yeah, that's actually probably not too difficult because of my super slick get complete bounds method. So I just use that to get the complete bounds of all the stuff selected, then run through them all and shift them by that amount. And you're all probably thinking this guy's an idiot for having so much duplicate code, and I totally agree with you. So when I do that part, I said do, I'll extract this all out into other functions which I can utilize in here, and it'll just make things a lot easier. Everything I just did then, it'll be gone. You know what? If I'm going to be putting all this stuff on video, someone's going to get bored at some point watching me do it, so what the hell, man. I'll just do it now. Okay, so okay. Through that. Translate object. Okay. It's gonna take this. really shouldn't bother with that. It's translate object, transform, xform. Bit of a space. Let's do world space for now. Do 2 versions of it. Okay. So, new object, no, blah blah. Should return it. Get rid of that. Okay, let's go back up to our first one, our little test guy. E. And instead of all of that, let's go duplicate object, selection dot active game object, and then translate object uob dot transform by vector 3 dot up times complete bounds dot y dot size dot y. And select the game object. Yeah, whatever. That'll do. Errors. Yeah, all this stuff. It's fair enough. Don't want any of that. What is this? We want that dot transform. We want that. We want that. And extract it from there. Grab that. I'm gonna stop saying that. It's probably really annoying. And game object name. Okay, let's see how our new version of that works. So this one on the right here, shift, beautiful, works a treat. So now that's a lot smaller, a lot easier to maintain. Let's go a little bit nuts. Complete bound. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, complete bounds. Yeah. Let's make another version of this. Which takes an array. Overloaded. New game object. Actually, how do params work? Does it allow me to just give it an array, I wonder? No, I'm not gonna bother with that right now. So that'll do. Alright. Gobs. And okay, so all render is gob.getComponents. Okay, so let's do a list. List of renderers. list, blah. All renderers in gob. So for each game object, gob in gobs. All renderers in gob, and then all renderers dot add range. All renderers in gob. We know that all render is not going to be null. Let's remove that. If count is equal to 0, return complete bounds. Otherwise, count. Okay. Back up here. Move above me. Duplicate above me. Transforms. No, game objects. Interesting. Transforms. I want to overload this again, just because. I don't feel like changing too much of the above code, and I'm not really too concerned again about this being super optimized. It is an editor script primarily, or probably entirely. I'll never be used at runtime, so not a massive deal if it's not super fast. Alright. Let's do the same things we did up here. New game objects. Okay, so this is translating it by size Y, so I don't think, I think it should be fine, one by itself, but two, are they overlapping? And this one, yeah, it wasn't selected. It was selected, but it wasn't being drawn in the inspector. Right. Okay, so translate object, vector tree dot up, complete bounds, size dot y. I don't think that actually worked. If this one was translated by the complete bounds size dot y, it would have gone up to there. And this one would have gone up the same distance. The same distance, so that should have been fine. Mustn't have worked is this. So we're getting all the renderers, adding the range to all renderers, going through it all. Blah, encapsulate, encapsulate, encapsulate. Yeah. Let's let's debug log the size of the bounds. Hold on, my bad. Game object. Whoa! Did not want to do that. Yeah. Okay, so that totally works, which is cool. So I should be able to select. Theoretically, got anything outside fortress selected? No. Alright, let's give it a go. Yeah, that works. That works. One thing I wish I had right now is a delete button, so I might put some undo stuff around all that as well in a sec. Or now seems like a good idea. So let's introduce the undo system. Register scene undo. Register the state of the entire scene so the user can register the state of one or more objects the user can. Register created object undo. Register the state of a Unity object so the user can later undo before performing an operation that. Don't really give any specific information on what this means, so I'm just going to do a full scene undo. So how do they describe the usage of that one? Mass material, blah, okay. Okay, duplicate above self. And then translate stuff. Yeah, I can probably just stay as it is. Yeah, let's rewrite this again. Done. Still a bunch of duplicated code. Oh, well, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. I'm getting a little bit ridiculous right now. Do myself a favor and chuck the clouds onto the cloud layer. Background or something. And let's turn off the background layer for a sec. do myself another favor and put the platforms onto the platform layer. Turn that off. Okay. Short S, S, S. That's cool. That's really cool. And then look at that, there's a gap between them. Because I have an extra little thing. So if I jump into level, find all blocks in level, that doesn't do the refresh that's on here. There, refresh all officials. Okay. Layers, everything. Play. It's all collapsing. It's all collapsing. No. Quick. Must destroy. Must contribute to destruction. Boom. That really didn't do much, did it? Alright. I am going to have to do something about them falling over all by themselves, but again, that is another next episode sort of thing, I think, or future episode thing, if not next. Alright. Thoughts on this so far? Everything I think is working now, I believe. Duplicating, moving, it's all sorted. I can duplicate multiples. I can't move multiples. I guess that's the next step. Yeah, whatever, I'll do it now. Man, this is really tedious. Ta-da! I'll do myself a favor again and test it before I just assume it's going to be fine. I hit the wrong button. That one. Yeah, it works. But there we go. That one. That one. Negative. Right. X. Right. Right. X. Okay. Duplicate to left of self. Move to left of self. Duplicate to right of self. Move to right of self. Duplicate behind self. Move behind self. And duplicate in front, move in front. Alright, so select all those, hit duplicate up, edit, undo, it's Alt S S S S, undo, 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 undo. Sweet. Okay, that's cool. Possibly don't need to do a scene undo for all that. I could probably do a register, undo for one or more objects. Yeah, and that's probably the go. Anyway, that'll do for now. Happy with that. I've got my cool little ability to make a child. I can shift stuff around if I want to. I don't like where those are. I don't like where these are. I can just go, you know, alt, blah, 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 down. Nope, down. Yeah, side by side. I need some more, just more. Yeah, that's the go. That's the good stuff. See, now you can see it's probably really easy to make a sort of fenced off area. If I wanted to do something like that. Oh, wow. It took me this long to realize. I think I should default it. Yeah, this is. Anyway, self and oh, this is like the never-ending. Oh no, luckily I did change all the move ones, so should be all good to go. Oh man. Axis aligned. Oh, how could that be? Yeah, shifting it as if it wasn't rotated. How can that be? Alright, so move to the left of self, get complete bounds, selection.transforms. All the renderers, blah blah, encapsulate. How could that be happening? Let's have a look. Script block. Now I'm really tired. Okay, I think I just need to. Well, it's not the easiest way of doing this. I think I might know what the issue is, but yeah, this is gonna show it just like straight up. B dot center, B dot size. Yeah. Probably not too hard to do something about though, I guess. Right. Okay. I guess it was right before. So what's... Well, I was looking at it thinking it was wrong, but it was totally right. So why would it not be doing... If that's the size... Unless... hold on, size X is still in the world axis. Yeah, that's what it'll be. I'm so tired. Okay. So, gizmos draw line from b dot center to b dot size dot x. B dot center plus vector 3 dot yeah, looks like it defeats the purpose of everything. Let's have a look at something else then. If I go back to my code, maybe I'm just missing something. Let's what's the negative right of that transform local space? Ah, it's, yeah, I've already selected the space. That's all in local space, right? So the x translating it's negative right by size in the x in world space. Okay. Yeah. I guess I might need to just chuck this into... Well, I'll use transform direction because this is going from world space to local space anyway, so hit that up. Okay. How does it fare on other weird angles? Alright, that's probably, considering it's access the line bounding box stuff, it's probably, yeah, I think that might be right. Let's do that. This was a job for find and replace, I think, not for my tired eyes. So lots of Z's in a row. Z, Z, Z. And wait, another Z then. Not that many Z's, considering there's supposed to be 4. And I was only looking at 3. Blip. Blip. Alright, let's just give that a test. Doesn't seem to be jumping especially far. Yeah, it's not perfect. I think that's sort of the vibe I'm picking up. It's pretty close, but due to the nature of perhaps my axis aligned bounding box usage, on certain angles here it might just do things that aren't quite what I want. Just on that Z axis seems to be, I mean, that works fine. I'm pretty sure that's close but not right. I think we'll probably find that that gap there is the amount that I'm missing from that movement, perhaps. Anyway, it's yeah, not something I can think about right now. It's 45 might yield. Yeah, so this is me trying to move it on the Z axis. It ain't going at all, so, and that's moving probably by the Z axis amount on top of it. So, and I can probably compensate for that. I can probably figure it out. But right now I'm not really interested. For the most part my stuff's going to be axis aligned anyway, so I'll get around to it. I will fix it up, but probably not in the short term, because I've spent too long on it. But you know what? It's pretty bloody handy. I'm pretty happy with what we've got. Kaboom. Let's get a closer look. Smash straight through the wall and hit the treasure chest. And you know what? I'm pretty sure that's how you end a video. So, I will see you all again in episode 8 of Every Semicolon.